So Frank, although the leasing activity was down from last month, it does still seem to be that leasing activity is on a positive streak.
I would agree with that. We had about 3.2 million square feet of leasing volume, so yeah, slightly down from January, but not too shabby. That was still well above the 10-year average for monthly leasing volume. That goes way past the average leasing volume we saw in 2024, which was a strong year on its own. So this was really driven by the Jane Street million square foot, nearly million square foot expansion down at Brookfield Place. You also had the expansion of iCapital at 60 East 42nd Street, Mizuho with their large deal at 1285 Avenue of the Americas. So altogether, a relatively strong month.
Downtown had a positive month.
Absolutely. Downtown, not so down. Yeah, that was, we mentioned before Jane Street, that was the single largest deal in Lower Manhattan in more than 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, plus a couple of large blocks of sublet space removed from the market downtown at Brookfield Place, at One Liberty Plaza. So a pretty strong month for that market.
And sublease availability in general is down.
Yeah, absolutely. Sublet supply is really moving towards that March 2020 benchmark. So believe it or not, the sublet supply is at the lowest level now since September 2020.
Wow.
So we're getting there. Step by step, we're getting there.
So let's talk a little bit about math.
Love math.
Real estate math.
Got it.
So, talking about downtown, obviously downtown has had some activity this month, but also downtown has been a large recipient of a lot of the availability being removed because of conversions, residential conversions. So I think you had said it's almost 9 million square feet of availability that had been removed.
Yes, overall over the last 4 years, 100%, and the bulk of it downtown.
So how does that impact the overall denominator of our 540 million square foot market?
All right, so here we go on the math. So yes, right now the market, Manhattan market, 540 million square feet. That changes every year, usually around the end of the first quarter as we take into account buildings that are being added, such as this year, 520 Fifth Avenue, the nearly completed new construction building. And then there's buildings that are removed, and it's going to include a large number of those previously announced buildings for residential conversion that now cease to function as office buildings. Notable examples, for instance, the two Pfizer buildings on East 42nd Street. But this is really going to be the largest reduction in a single year in a very long time, really surpassing anything that we've seen in the 15-year period that we've analyzed it. We're still figuring out the final numbers, but at the end of Q1, we could go from a 540 million square foot market down to almost 530 million square feet.
So that's going to impact availability.
100%. Right now we've got about 86 million square feet of total availability. Assuming that remains stable, it won't, but just pretending that remains stable next month, that's not going to be out of 540 million, that'll be out of 530. So that's exactly right. In some pockets of the market, you could see a huge spike in the availability rate, even though there's really no change on the ground in the market. So they're going to need you to explain why that is.
Well, it's fascinating. We'll have some interesting discussion topics for next month.
Can't wait.